WOCA.
Ocala.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales, both of which I am a patron and a consumer. I get my car fixed at Sunrise Automotive when it needs to be. I'm superstitious, even though I deny my superstition. I am. And, of course, I got my new car a year ago or more from Crossroad Auto Sales, which I test drove until I was satisfied. I went all the way to Chattanooga and back. Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
Morning, Larry. How are you?
By the way, if you have any questions for Matt, we invite you to call in. The number is 622-9622. And if you need your car repaired, we encourage you to go to see Matt over at his shop. And let me give you the address, 1800 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. So anything new in your world? Is Saturday we're coming to... No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But I will.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. There, we got that settled. Gosh, your face said everything. Okay. All right. So there's a political story that I wondered how it affects car repairs.
Okay.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that GM is going to invest $1 billion to build some U.S. factories. Of course, this comes after Donald Trump started threatening them that if you build the stuff in Mexico, we're going to tax you. So does that affect us? Does the bottom line change at all? When I go to buy a car, is it going to be more expensive because it's built in America? Or what exactly is your take on the whole Mexico versus U.S. factory thing?
You know, Larry, and it's sad to say, but what it all boils down to is money. You know, it's all about money.
Right.
So, is it going to eat into GM's profits? Probably. I mean, I'm a small business owner. I'm not. But you just kind of look at it, and it's like, does it benefit us? Absolutely. We're going to put people to work. Let's put people to work. You know, all these politicians and all these stuff. Let's put people to work. People want to work.
Yeah, I think they do too.
And
I think they do too. When they say we can't get workers in America, how is that possible? We're a working country. We've always been a working country.
Well, one of the problems with that is, and I see this a lot. I see it personally. I see it a lot. Is that, and I might ruffle some feathers, but this is my perspective, and it's just my perspective. Okay. You know,
I think what you're about to say. I saw a post on your Facebook page similar to it, right?
Well, there's a lot of people we have created a system that keeps a certain amount of people where they don't want to work, because if they work, then they can't use the system, and if they can't use the system, they're not going to live as good, as comfortable as they live on the system.
There you go. That's right.
And I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
But and if they don't want to work, let's take some of those systems away. Let's take some of those programs out of the deal where they have to work. And trust me, once you get to work, I look at it like this: God created us to work, and that's part of our nature. When he created Adam, he said, "Now this is what I want you to do. Go to
work.
Go tend to take care of the garden. Name all the animals. You got plenty to do, Adam. Don't worry about no stinking apple. Just keep on going." And
we should have worried about that apple, though. Should have worried about that apple.
But you know, I mean, that's our human nature, is to work, and I think that if some of the systems were different today, it would bring that work mentality back into the country. But there are a lot of people that do want to work. But here's the deal. You know, so you look at Mexico, and if we can get things done at a third of the cost, labor cost,
right?
Well, that means the price of the Chevrolet is going to be X amount of dollars more. Mm-hmm. But if they continue thinking Mexico, and then they get taxed, it's still going to raise the cost of the car.
Right.
So if you're gonna have to raise the price, at least let's keep it in.
It's not so dumb, is it? It sounds like a smart idea. Because ultimately, if you're trying to take care of your own, and your own, if you're the president, means every person in these borders, then it makes sense to me. I don't know.
And and if the whole economy starts to build up, we just like my guys. they get paid by what they do. So the more business we have, the more money that they have the opportunity to make.
Okay, I want to ask you this too, because here's another political one, and it has to do with German-made cars, not just Volkswagens, where Trump said it's not fair. They don't drive as many American cars as we drive German-made cars. And then the German, whoever it was, said in response, well, if you would start making good cars, we might start driving them. Is that true? Are we not making good cars?
Well, we make good cars. But here's the difference. Okay. So some German guy says we don't make good cars.
Right.
I'm an American guy says the Germans don't know how to make a car. Okay. So
meaning Volkswagen, because there's more than one German brand.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Germans in general. I struggle with the way that they think, the way that they engineer, the way that they do things. To me, it's backwards. It's stupid. But we have people in this country. We have guys that have European, I got a friend that owns the Autobahn in Bellevue, and he loves European cars. So if me and him got into a debate and a discussion, he's going to tell me how much better the European cars are over than the American cars, and I can go right back at him because of the way I think and the way that I see things, and it could be an ongoing battle all day long. You see what I'm saying? It's just a matter of preference. There are a lot of people in America that love driving the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Volkswagen, all the European cars and the German cars and stuff, and that's their taste. That's what they like. And that's one great thing about the United States is that we have the freedom to like this or like that.
Right, and buy it. Okay, let's go to the phone. I've got a few more questions about that topic. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, good morning, Matt and everybody.
Morning.
See, for years and years and years, I was bound and determined I'm not going to buy a foreign Japanese car or any foreign car. I'm going to buy American, and I stuck with that for many, many years. About 4 years ago, my wife fell in love with a Nissan Rogue. She had a Cadillac, but she wanted a Nissan Rogue. She went and test drove it and everything else, and they had all the bells and whistles, and she just loved the way he drives. So I said, okay, go ahead, buy your Japanese car, and don't talk to me for a week, But so anyways, at the same time, I went and bought myself a new Buick and Enclave. I think your wife has one.
Yep.
And it's a wonderful car, beautiful car. But on my first oil change, taking it back to the dealership, they noticed the transmission seal was leaking a little bit. So, okay, leave it there. They're going to fix it up and everything else. So they gave me a order. Okay, 3-4 days go by, a week goes by, and I called them. I said, what the heck? I mean, that long to replace the seal? And they said, well, we had the transmission was made in Brazil, and we had to wait for the part from Brazil, and further investigating on the car I bought. The engine was made in Mexico, and this was made here and there, and the car was made everywhere. And although it was assembled in Michigan, but it's just here. I thought I was being a good guy by going total USA product, and I'm finding out all the parts of the car are made all over the world.
Yeah, and that's the way it is today. It's just like the Nissan Rogue. You bought a Nissan Rogue, which is a Japanese company, but that Nissan Rogue that your wife bought was it was probably assembled in Tennessee.
It was. Yeah. It says on the website, all the parts, everything was Japanese, made in Japan, but the car was assembled in, I think it's Tennessee, like you said. Yes.
Yeah. It's and that's the way it's across the board. It's the way that's everybody does it. And I got a phone call coming in, but my wife is yelling at me right now, saying, "Shut your phone off."
Oh, I'm glad you said phone off.
Do you think with Trump in office now that they might get away from all these parts being built everywhere else, and it might just all stay here, or anything like that?
That, as far as the parts and whatnot go, I don't really know. I do know, I don't think Trump, I personally don't think Trump's going to have a problem with Nissan building cars in America.
No, that won't be a problem.
My brother-in-law works at the Nissan plant in Tennessee. I
don't think that's going to be an issue for him.
And the town that they live in, I would say the majority of the people in this whole town work for Nissan at the plant.
Really? Yeah, I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you real quickly. The car it was 4 years ago, and it's been never took it back once to the dealer. It's been an excellent car. My wife's just in love with it.
Awesome.
All right,
thank you,
Hugh. Let me take a break real quickly, and we love your phone calls, so call in if you have something you want to say to Matt. The number is 622-9622. It can be this topic, or you might have a question about the pinging noise under your hood. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, partly sunny and warm with a high of 78 to 82. Mainly clear and mild Tuesday night, low 54 inland, 60 along the coast. Wednesday, more sun than clouds and warm, high 80 to 84. Thursday may start with areas of fog, otherwise another day with lots of sunshine and warm in the afternoon, high 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hey everybody, the Camellia Show Spectacular is just about in full bloom at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. You'll see thousands of camellias, dozens of varieties, hundreds of trees, many half a century old, and it's all free. Start your own camellia collection. Check out the Lady Van camellias, 5-inch size for just $9.99. Hundreds of larger sizes available too. If you want to know all about camellias, check out their handsome new brochure with a gorgeous Japonica camellia on the front. It's free and it's just for the asking. Other deals this week: frost-proof gardenias regularly $9.99 are just $6.99, and blueberries buy one get one free. Dwarf ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas still just $3.99. Go to BobWinesCameliaGardens.net and see all the specials. Bob Wines, Southeast 38th Street, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. Still blooming in the same place since 1952.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to tune in to the first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. to learn about the latest advances in healthcare available right here at home. Ocala Regional Medical Center and Strive have teamed up to bring the most qualified medical professionals on the air to answer your questions and bring information to help you in your decisions concerning your health. Again, that's the first and third Thursday. Health matters.
All right, 19 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Matt Gibbs is here. The phone line is open. The number is 622-9622. We're talking about cars. Cars are cars all over the world. All right, so real quick, I have one question about the manufacturing situation.
Okay.
If it's an American company and they're manufacturing in wherever, is that car still considered an American car?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Canada, because we had this discussion this morning about Canadian cars, and I said to Galen, on Life South, I said, I don't know of a Canadian car. Is there a Canadian car? So we looked it up. So there's a Chevrolet Optra, and there's a few of them. There's Buick Allure. But the first word, Buick, Chevrolet Epica, Chevrolet Orlando. Have you ever heard of any of these cars?
No.
So they're all made in Canada. Pontiac Wave. They're all made in Canada, but they sound like they're American companies. Is that right?
It's no different than if you were in is we talked. Hugh talked about a Nissan, the Nissan Rogue.
Right.
It's here in America. So
do
they have the Nissan Rogue in Japan?
In Japan, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe not.
So, GM, all the manufacturers, they're not stupid people. And up in Canada, probably I would venture to say the living conditions are a little bit different than most of the United States. There's some up in the north part of the United States that maybe experience what Canada has to go through. And so they make them their version. And a lot of times, and if you looked at those cars, they may call it this in Canada, but in the United States, maybe they call it that. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody told me that the Suzuki I had that hit the cow was a Chevrolet up there.
Right.
Did you ever hear that?
Yeah.
In Canada? Okay. We do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yes, good morning. I have a question I want to ask, and I'll hang up and listen to the answer.
Okay, thank you.
I got a 2008 Chevy Trailblazer, and on the indicator there where it shows the mileage and stuff, day before yesterday morning I got in it, and the tire light popped on, like put air in your tire, and down on the monitor it said service tire monitor. I'll hang up and listen to what that is.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for the call.
Well, what that is it's a part of your what we call the TPMS system, and it's the tire pressure monitoring system. And what will happen is a lot of times there's a threshold. The computer monitors inside your tire is a transmitter, and that transmitter is a pressure switch. And there's a little battery, like a hearing aid battery, inside the tire, and it's usually attached to your valve stem. And so what will happen is there's what they call thresholds, and the manufacturer says, okay, this particular car with this much weight, this is the threshold of the tires. The tires need to be between 32 to 38 pounds of pressure in the tires. And what happens is when it's cooler in the morning, your tire pressure is lower than it's going to be when they get the hotter it gets, the more it expands and the higher your pressure goes. So if you start up in the morning and your TPMS light is on, then usually we got a tire or several tires or all tires are below the threshold. Now, sometimes you can drive it, and then the light goes out. Well, the pressure built up, tires got hot, heated up, and then the light goes out. Well, now the pressure is above the minimum threshold. So the first thing I would do is go around and check all the air pressure in the tires. During the winter time, when it's cooler outside, you need to run a couple more pounds of air in your tires. Just because in the morning time it's going to be a couple pounds less than normal. So it's definitely part of your TPMS. Now, I had a very interesting thing come into the shop yesterday. We had a TPMS system failure, and it turned out, and it was on a 2013 Chevy Cruze. One of the tag license plate lights was out. It had two lights for the license plate. One of the bulbs for the license plate was out, and actually that caused the TPMS light to come on.
Wow, really?
So we put the scanner to it, and we looked at diagnostics and went through the computer system, and it had a code for a license plate light out. And sure enough, we walked in the back, and one of the tag lights was out. We put a new bulb in the tag light. Started up the car and the TPMS lights off.
Isn't that interesting?
So it gets crazier and crazier every day.
So what's your recommendation for him?
Well, for him, the first thing I would do is check all my air pressures in the tires, and we've had several people calling me, and the old tire gauge you used to put on the tire and a little stick would come out. Yeah. I just want people to understand those things are good for 2% of its life. They're accurate for...
No, really?
Yeah, 2%.
So I got to get a new one?
So we used to throw them away every year and buy new ones.
I didn't know that.
But now you can go to Sears. We're here at the mall. You can go to Sears, Walmart, anywhere you shop at.
Right.
Just buy you a digital one. Those things are phenomenal. They breed into half pounds. If you want to put 35 and a half pounds of air in your tires, you can do that. And they're not very expensive. And they'll last forever. until you break it or the battery goes bad, throw it away. But they're $19-$20, and you get a real nice, tire pressure indicator.
Wow. Okay. And real quickly, you said there's a battery on each stem.
Yeah, each tire has a sensor, and in each sensor is a battery.
Okay.
So the rule of thumb is when you got to replace your tires, it's really the best time to replace your TPMS sensors. But on the flip side of that, the TPMS sensors, the prices of them things are coming down, but typically they're about $100 a sensor. So that can be real expensive.
Wow. So $400 added to the price of your tires.
Tires, right.
Wow.
But we do have the ability to check the battery health in the sensors. And if one sensor has let's say your TPMS light is on, it's because of the left front wheel sensor, it may, and it's showing low battery health, that somewhere and real closely, all four of them are going to give up on you.
So, okay, if I had that and I couldn't afford the money to replace them, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way, just keep up with my air pressure, am I causing any problems?
No, you're not causing any problems other than a yellow light shining in your face.
Which is always annoying, yeah.
Which is annoying.
It's a light. So is there a legal thing here? I mean, if you have an accident, is that recorded somewhere on some computer? Like some savvy lawyer goes, I think you caused the accident, and here's proof your tire was below 3 pounds or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know if they're actually if that information is being sent to the EBCM, which is your electronic brake control module.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your braking and stuff is recorded for insurance purposes and stuff like that. I can't access that, and the manufacturer can access that, but I don't know if TPMS information is given to the brake control module.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you know, I have a question about brakes, by the way. When I see a red light, I'm stopping, gently, and then when I get there, then I apply it. I see other people, it looks like they don't even put their brake on until they're like 3 car lengths before the stoplight. That might be an exaggeration. But can you, as a mechanic, look at brake shoes, or whatever they're called, and tell this is a heavy-footed guy or lady, or can you tell?
Well, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but mileage dictates whether you are or not. I love the guys that stop 3 cars before the light.
Why?
Because then I get to do their brakes more often. No, but seriously, I mean, if you got two cars and 2 of the same exact cars, and this guy gets 30,000 miles out of his front brakes, and this guy gets 50,000 miles out of his front brakes.
That's why.
You know which guy is doing what.
Oh, wow. And then he blames his wife. He says, it's not me, it's my wife. All right, let me squeeze in a call real quickly. We've got about a minute and a half. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, and then there are the 2-foot drivers that always have 1 foot on the brake pedal.
I really like those guys.
Yeah, I mean, they just eat up the brake shoes.
I bet they do. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning, all.
You too.
So I had a friend, real quickly. I had a friend who drove a Standard when I was a kid, and then he got a new car, and his new car had a very wide brake pedal, and so he was so used to lifting his foot to push down the clutch that he accidentally lifted his foot and pushed down the brake, and we went forward. Everybody in the car went, because back then nobody wore seatbelts. So he went, it was just, and there was no anti-lock brakes either back then. Right. It was just, oh man, that was a quick lesson to learn, right? All right, always fun to talk cars. So go to Canada and get an Acura CSX. Have you ever heard of this one?
No.
Acura CSX. It's a new car.
Huh.
It's a Canadian car. Matt, what is your phone number?
You can call us at Sunrise Automotive at 352-690-1993.
And you can also go there also to get a new car. Crossroad Auto Sales has 2 locations at 10th Street. And what's the other one?
The other one is 3701 South Pine Avenue.
Call us if you need that repeated. We will be right back. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Russian President Vladimir Putin weighing in on an unsubstantiated report alleging Moscow had gathered compromising material on Mr. Trump. He accused the Obama administration of trying to undermine the president-elect by spreading fake allegations. Meanwhile, confirmation hearings continue for Mr. Trump's picks for his cabinet, including Betsy DeVos for Education Secretary.
It could be contentious because DeVos is one of the 8 nominees. The Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants to slow down. She is very well known as being an advocate for school choice.
Fox's Peter Ducey. Congressman Ryan Zinke nominated for Secretary of the Interior. The nearly 3-year-long search for Malaysia Air 370 ending in failure. A relative support group responding with outrage.